Hey there, we live, we live, we live, we live. All right, we're gonna start doing something new. We're gonna go live, talk about some things, some concepts of what's going on in my head, what's happening out there in y'all minds. So leave notes, leave messages, contact email with some discussions of things y'all might want to touch on. All right, so I don't know how much y'all know about my backstory. Give you a quick rundown. If you just started following me, you don't really know the history of what you're watching. So just understand that I started this YouTube channel years ago, um, trying to get to 1,000 subscribers, trying to monetize it, trying to make money. But in the midst of it, I started thinking that, what if something were to happen to me tomorrow? What if something were to happen to me today? Being that I have grandchildren, I got grandkids, granddaughters, grandsons, I have children. I want them to have something of me to look back at. So that's what this channel is about. Just like a legacy account. Maybe one day my sons will be in college, or my daughter may be, 30 something, and I'm not around. God forbid I were to have a stroke. So, people, stuff happen to people all the time. People have a stroke, they don't come back right, heart attack, might just get taken out, just to be honest, might get killed. So I leave messages here as a way of leaving that legacy and just having conversations and dialogues. That's what it's really evolved to. Backstory: a lot of time in the streets, a lot of time in prison, a lot of time as a fugitive. You may think you know my story, but I swear to you, it's unique and different, man. One thing that happened, people always said I was too stupid to quit, too dumb to give up. So I just led myself down a bunch of stupid roads. It's stupid looking back, but when I was making those decisions, I was making the best decision based on the information that was provided in front of me at the time. In my circle, I was making the best decision that I knew possible. So, what I want to talk about today is how people usually, well, a man, white, black, Spanish, whatever, if you know a lot of men that was in the streets or in criminality or that's in it right now, just understand that a lot of men try to either work themselves deeper in the streets or start working themselves up out of the streets around the age of 30. It's something that I seen, it's something that we studied, talked about, even while I was in the system. We talked about this. Men around 30, like 28, 29, really making decisions like, is this gangster stuff? I'm a cuss. Is this gangster shit really happening for me? Is this street life? Is this rap career really what I want? When you 30, you done graduated, you moved on with your life, and you're seeing people that you grew up with, you're seeing them succeeding, whether it's good or bad success. You're just seeing it. You're seeing mothers mothering, fathers fathering, workers working, suckers suckering. Even squares, like I used to look at squares, and then when I turned 30, the dudes that I thought were squares or lame in school, they were like living a life. Went to the service, got a government job, family, house, you know, different benefits. So around 30, a man starts saying, man, am I going to stay in these streets and really make these streets work, or am I going to figure something else out? And when that figure something else out, you don't even know what it is a lot of times, because your sphere of influence is the same the sphere that does all this foolishness you do. So working yourself up out of the streets is not easy. All right, it's frustrating. A lot of times you don't know how to have fun. You might have a brother, a relative, a loved one, somebody that's coming out of jail, somebody that's coming from an institution, or just saying, "Hey, I want to do better." But sometimes you might not even know what better looks like, how to have legal fun, how to do things that normal people's doing. What is normal? So at 30, you start having these ideas and thoughts, and you're like, man, I don't want to sell dope all my life. But like, man, I don't want to be looking over my shoulder all my life. I gotta start a business. I gotta, barbershop, dump truck. Let's start a joint removal. Let's start mold abatement. Let's flip houses. You start having that thought. 28, 29, 30 years old, you start trying to figure it out, because you realize that based off of folks you grew up with, At 30, you might be halfway through your life. You might be 75% done living at 30 years old. So that's why people start making those things. And when you get tired of the hurt, when you get tired of the pain, tired of the letdown, tired of the suffering, tired of being booked, tired of hurting people, tired of fighting when you got all these bruises on your knuckles from fighting, tired of going in and out of jail, losing stuff, tired of, starting relationship, losing relationships, tired of missing out on your kids' life, tired of dealing with prison, dealing with the criminal justice system, dealing with COs, correctional officers, guards, dealing with letting your family down. When you start getting tired of these things, the pain that you can connect from these things that you're getting tired of has to be so deep. The pain got to cut you so hard that you say, you know what? I don't know what I'm going to do, but I am going to admit today that I've just been running circles and this stuff ain't getting me nowhere. And then you get to a point where you want to start figuring it out. It might be the first thing you might got to do is get out of a relationship, get out of a bad soul tie. You might got to let some homeboys go. You might got to get away from your cousins, your uncles. It might be your aunties, your friends. There's somebody around you probably got to disassociate yourself with so you can even see you for who you really are. Because most of the time you walk around in the image of somebody that's not the image that you should be walking around in because you don't see yourself as a king. So we admit we run in circles. We admit we got to do something different. We also realize that we don't know what that something different is. Um, I'm 43 now, and just looking at folks, man, wishing that I had the opportunity to prepare for retirement when them other people did. Did so much years in prison. I could have went to any college campus and had a doctorate degree. I could have went to the service, the Marines, the military, and had all kinds of stars and stripes. But now, when you're stepping out from that thug life, when you're stepping back from being a gangster, when you're stepping out on faith, just saying, okay, God, I know you're going to fix it. I know you got something better for me. I know you have a way. I don't know what that way is, but I want to figure it out. And you're like, damn, how am I going to retire? Nobody really told me that there's no retirement with running these streets, no matter how much crack you sell, no matter how much coke you sell, or heroin, whatever. The retirement plan just ain't there. It's no pension. It's not the 401k that most people want to depend on. You don't have the equity in your house. You don't have those relationships. So when you're sitting there and you thugging it, you're a G, you're a gangster, you cold, you go hard, you're a gorilla, you're a killer, you about that life. Man, the closest retirement plan you might have is a bed in prison. I'm gonna say it again. The closest retirement plan you might have is a bed in prison because your run on the streets ain't that long. Then if it get too long, somebody gonna come rob you and kill you. So retirement from this thug life stuff, you go to prison, you might go to the grave, and Lord forbid, some people just be addicted. The coolest dope fiend or crackhead or pluck or wop, whatever you want to call it, used to be getting money. And everybody tell you, one day they tried something. It may not have been their own supply. It could have been something else that they were partying with. And eventually it just took over. So the retirement plan for you out there in the streets, and you need to be forewarned, man. This coming from, I'm considering myself an OG. The retirement plan is prison, a grave, or addiction. So we got to get this thing going. Some people ain't cut out for the workforce. Everybody not cut out for the workplace, to enter the workplace. Some people got to be business owners. But you got to realize whatever you're doing, you're starting it later than most people. So you got to sort of like humble yourself. And don't forget who you are. Don't forget those things you've been through, those situations that made you the person you are today. And you could use some of it to propel you towards success. But some of that crap you just got to leave behind. You got to leave it right where you found it at so that you can succeed. Entering the workforce late ain't a joke. You're going to have a manager that's probably your daughter's age. You're going to have people telling you stuff to do, especially if you just left prison and you go out and get a job, first job, at 25, first job at 30, and somebody telling you what to do, and you're like, man, I'm about to choke this dude. But you can't choke people out here in corporate America, or even if you, wherever you at a job, you can't choke them, you can't put in work, you can't smack them for saying something you don't like. So these are things that you got to start preparing yourself for, man, because there is a future, all right? You are going to have abundance, you are going to succeed. Everybody's place ain't at work. Some people got to build a job. Like your entrepreneur spirit might be so strong that you have to create a business because you used to hustling. You know, you are just a hustler, but I want you to identify yourself as a businessman. Jay-Z talked about it. He said, I'm a businessman. So everybody ain't cut out to work. Some people got to get a detailing business, landscaping business. Some people can get some kind of consulting firm, or if you would shoes or fashion, work your dream, do something. But just know that when you hit that around 30, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, you're going to have to start switching that thing up, because what you've been doing that's leading you nowhere, hanging out with a bunch of folks smoking Newport, cigarettes, drinking beer, drinking liquor, smoking weed, hitting the club, messing with them big booty girls, is no true retirement in it. And Lord forbid, most of us getting out the street, credit ain't nowhere. So hopefully, if you haven't worked on it, hopefully it's at least not bad, so that you can start moving to a spot where you can purchase a house. Because although you got the money, if you don't have the work history, or if you don't have the credit, you still can't purchase the house. So this is what I'm saying. You got to think about all these things. So my encouragement to you, if you listening to this, if you this far in, my encouragement to you is find something to do besides them streets. Even if it's just not, okay, I'm gonna stop, I'm gonna get out streets today. Just start doing something else so you can see other people, see people that's succeeding. Surround yourself with folks. I know some people have been walking around with a gun on them for so long, it's hard for them to put the gun down. But when you're at work, you can't be strapped. You know, some people dealing with some kind of addictions, chemical, substance abuse, alcoholism, anxiety. That is even hard for you to function and move, because you're like, oh, they talking about me, or they looking at me, or they don't accept me. It ain't about that. It's about you stepping out, paving the way for your son, for your daughter, for your wife, for your husband, and being a better person than you used to be. Okay? It's no retirement in those streets. I guarantee you drop comments below about, give me 12 people that's retired from the streets. Drop a comment telling me 12 people you know retired from the street. Then drop a comment telling me 24 people that you think, or you might know, or you heard of or met, that are retired from some kind of industry, man. It's like the streets is cool. You had your fun. It's a rush. You do all the fast stuff. You lose it fast, just as fast as it came. But there's no retirement in the streets. So we got to get out the streets. We got to work together. This thug life stuff ain't doing nothing but holding us back. I like selling stuff, so I just found a career in sales. I'm still in sales. I've been in sales my whole life. I've been commissioned. I'm still a commission agent. Okay, I commission, man. I'm in sales, and they pay me commission. That's what they do. But I just tie myself to a dope company. I'm not tied to the dope man on the streets. I'm with a dope company doing dope stuff for the community and in society. And it's 100% legit. And I'm still selling, getting my little rush from just being in sales. But I hope that you got something from it. It ain't turned into a rant, letting you know that you got to start working yourself up out of them streets, man. Ain't nobody going to do it for you but you. All right. Y'all stay heavily motivated. Hit the thumbs up button, like it, subscribe, do whatever you got to do. But work your way out the streets. And if you know somebody that's in the streets, just be patient with them, because it just don't happen overnight. Peace.